What is the best performing and easiest tank to drive in World of Tanks Blitz? Well, that is what we're going to be talking about in today's video. Now, a lot of times this is opinionated. Obviously, some YouTubers will say blah 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 X tank is the best, and others will say Y tank is the best. However, in today's video, we are not going to be using opinion. We are going to be using simple fact on what is the best tier 10 in the game for anybody to play. Now, there are currently 53 tier 10s available, and out of those 53 tier 10s, 15 of them are collectors or premiums vehicles like the Concept 1B, E6, or M60. However, which might surprise you, the premiums are not actually even close to the top performing vehicles in tier 10. Unlike tier 8, where tanks like the Chimera, and in tier 7 you've got the Annihilator and Smasher that absolutely swarm win rate. It's not the case in tier 10. Pay to win really isn't as much of a thing. Now, yes, vehicles like the T22 Medium, VK90, and definitely the Concept 1B are pretty overpowered, but not for the average player. You definitely have to know what you're doing in these vehicles. So we're going to be making our way to a website called Blitz Analysis. So let me just swap my screen here. Now, Blitz Analysis is very similar to Blitz Stars, where they get average stats. However, there is one difference. Blitz Analysis uses relative win rate. Now, what is relative win rate? Well, basically the way it works is it gets the average win rate of players in the game. So it gets a whole long statistic. Let's say you're a 65%er. It's going to group you up with a bunch of other 65%ers. And depending how you do in all of the tanks you have in your garage, it's going to compare them to all the other 65%ers and make you a graph. It's way more reliable to understand how vehicles actually perform in the game. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to go to tier 10 and we're going to click on, that's it actually, we just need to go to tier 10 stats. This is from update 8.6, and here you go. Highest relative win rate vehicles, the IS-7. The Object 268 version 4 is obviously a test tank, but there you have it. The highest performing vehicle in the game is the IS-7, meaning it's the easiest. Now, that's not the case for every bracket of players. When it comes to 65% plus players, it's actually the 263 that's at the top. But when you go to 55%, it's the IS-7, and 45 to 55, it's also the IS-7. But then 0 to 45%, it's again the Object 263, but the IS-7 is very, very close. What I find interesting is vehicles like the E3 and the Badger are actually quite high up there for lower win rate players, but you'll notice the higher the win rate we go, the Badger is literally nowhere to be found. It's just funny. The Badger's all the way back here, and then in the highest win rate, I mean, the Badger's not even in this list. So it's funny how really good players do better in certain tanks. The E3 gets shoved down a couple, then vehicles like the Patton, the E50, and Mouse make their way up, and the 263 all the way up at the top. But what I can tell you, the most consistent vehicle out of all of these is the IS-7. If we make our way to a graph, it's insane how well the IS-7 actually does. So it's pretty cool. You can look at the table right here. The IS-7 has a 2% higher average win rate for any class of people running it. So that's pretty solid. You can see player win rate at tier is 51%, and the average win rate in the vehicle is 53%, a 2% difference. Next highest is the E3 at 1.71, then the Mouse. The Mouse is obviously just because it's slow and it has a lot of hit points, so it's hard for people, I feel, to die. But yeah, I mean, you'll notice that premium-wise, we got to keep scrolling. There you go. Concept 1B is the first premium to make it on the list. Then we've got the Badger. And then, yeah, that's T22 down here. So there are a lot of premiums on this list, but it's not like it's completely swarmed by them. The top performing vehicles are mostly, apart from the 268 version 4 in test, tech tree tanks. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go back to Blitz, and we're going to play in the IS-7. Now, the IS-7 is confirmed the easiest tank and the best performing vehicle for any class of players, apart from the 263, in the game. Now, why is that? Well, it's kind of because the IS-7 has everything going for it. Sure, the gun is not amazing. In fact, penetration-wise, yeah, the standard's about average for every tier 10 heavy, but when it comes to premium ammo, yeah, it's not great. You're gonna struggle. It's only got about 310 millimeters of premium pen. But it's fast. It goes 50 kilometers per hour. It's got incredibly strong armor frontally and on the sides. And when you add that in with the beefy alpha of 460, it makes one mean killing machine. So what do we have up against us? We got an M6 Yo, a Kranvong, and as well an IS-8. Sorry, 57, didn't want to push you into that wall there. So I'm going to be driving up towards base C. Got to be careful. Obviously, I don't know if the enemy team is going to be pushing all of their tanks towards A. You really never know. But I'm going to push up aggressive because I know they've got a bit slower lineup, at least for the heavies. So I think that if their heavies are going to pull around this corner, we should get some pretty easy shots in, but I don't see anybody, which gets me a little bit nervous. Oh, there's a Kranvong. All right, let's see if we can get a shell in, pull around the corner, and yeet. Thank you. 493 hit points. Man, this guy just got absolutely badonked. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to ram him, which, well, didn't actually take much off. I was hoping it would take a little bit more off than that. But good news is we can just face hug the Kron. The IS-8, not super worried about. I mean, this guy seems to be, yeah, I don't even know what to say is going on in this battle, but I'm going to use my immense speed and power, and we're going to see if I can get right up to this IS-8 and get some shells in. So here we go, and, oh, 57, yeet, there you go, nice tap, 513. We're already up to 1,500 damage, which is not bad when you think about it. I'm just going to ram this IS-8 really quickly. Hopefully this should make him a one-shot. There you go, and goodbye. Sweet. Alright, so we finished off the IS-8. Now, we don't know exactly where the 183 is currently, but it shouldn't be too much of a threat. I mean, the 183, yeah, it could ammo rack me. It could take a lot of my hit points off, but I'm not really worried. So we're just going to push up. There's the M6 Yo. I like the spot here underneath the bridge. It gives you some pretty good protection all around. And we might even be able to get a slap into the Yo, and, oh, can't tap him yet. Boom. Oh, okay, that was just a bad shot for me. I should have fired when I had the side of his turret, but I'm not one of those people that likes to jump the gun on shots. So what I'll do right now is I'll just poke. I mean, if the Yo pens me, so be it. We've got pretty good alpha anyway, and I mean, yeah, we just completely out DPM him now because he has to back up. He's got less hit points, so, oh, that is a Hess shell from the 183. It did not pen me, obviously, but now this Yo is about to be reloaded again, which means I'm going to back up just for a little bit. We're going to get this shell ready. We're going to load in a premium shot, aiming, and fire. There you go. The Yo is taken out, which is pretty sweet. There you go, our first bounce of the game, basically. You'll notice that the armor is good on this tank, but it's definitely not always good. You will have situations where it doesn't always work. Now, the Vickers Light, we obviously know, is right over here, and this guy's probably going to try and run away from me, so we're going to see if we can get a big ol' slap. Oh, thank you for your hit points into the Vickers. And at this point, while the 183 is over there, our 183 is also over here getting absolutely badonkered, but maybe, just maybe, I can help him out. And fire, there you go. All right, I got the 183 cleared, and with that, all that's left is the T92E1. So, not bad at all. Maybe we can get a shot into the 92. Oh, HE, yeet. There you go, nice 556 roll with that RAM. That's a 913. And, well, there you have it. This is the IS-7. It's a pretty strong tank. Not super fast on traverse speed, you'll notice, but, yeah, I mean, what more could you ask out of this tank? Sure, I bled a bunch of hit points this game, but I am a heavy, so that's my job. The only thing I really messed up on was I should have shot that Yo a little bit earlier. But hey, we dealt 4,992 damage and came out with a mastery, and that was a pretty easy game. Now, yes, I know, not everybody we went up against was the most skilled, and we also had a pretty good player on my team, but it still doesn't take away from the fact that the IS-7 is such an easy tank to play. Now, there are games when I get absolutely destroyed in this tank because I get in over my head, I play too aggressive, and that will happen. Tanks that have very high penetration, tank destroyers, or let's say vehicles like the 183, one shot takes off about a 30 of your hit points. That's not great. But you definitely have to run every tank a little bit conscious. So we're going to try and load in the one more battle here and see what we can do. This video might be a little bit longer than my average. It's about 9 minutes already, but I always like to do 2 helpings of gameplay. I think it takes away a little bit of that luck and puts in a bit more of just showing you why the tank is nice. So what do we have up against us? We got an IS-7, Super Conqueror, and as well an IS-4. Not bad on the heavy lineup. Now, what I'm going to do in this game is I'm just going to push really aggressive. Getting into base B is important, but you're going to see exactly where I'm going to position my tank. It's the same spot that I put my my 263 earlier today. This same spot. We're just going to drive right up to this wood pile, and we're going to see what we can do. You can see my teammate is capturing the base, so that's not too much of a worry. But the plan is right now, I'm going to reset whoever is trying to capture base C. So we're using that speed, using that power, and here we go. There's the IS-4, and oh boy, you can see where the penetration on this tank does struggle. Now there is a tortoise and a pretty nice tap into his tank. We also got a bounce. But right now, I gotta be careful. Ooh, okay, that guy shot an HE shell at me. I don't know what to say about that. We're gonna see if I can get another shell into this tortoise, and yeet! There you go, another nice tap for 407. Reprot. Ah, yes, you know what you're talking about, IS4. Either way, we're gonna reload, and oh, that was a bad shot from me. I could have aimed that in a little bit better. Hopefully this 92 does pen the shot, but I don't know what he's doing. I'm trying to, like, support him here. But he's not really letting me do that all too easily. Fun fact, you can pen the IS-4 actually side-scraping, so you can also track it in that process. That's exactly what we did there. Hopefully this 92 stops bleeding. I mean, he's a light tank, not really a heavy, but either way, we're going to see if I can get one more shell into this IS-4. There you go, nice 414 tap, and now I'm going to face this guy. Even if he does pen me, he's already taken out, which is pretty good. Now we got, like, the super donkerer over here, and, yeah, this guy's not going to have the easiest time trying to penetrate me. While that's going on, we're just going to tap a premium shell right into the edge of his tank. Pretty nice. You can see where the armor, the hit points work really well in tandem on this tank. So, right now, I'm going to try and push up, because my team's not doing great on the other side of the map, so I'm going to have to try and clear vehicles like the Super Conqueror as quick as possible. But that's definitely going to help out. A max roll there of 575, that's pretty sweet. And you can see the armor on the IS-7 doing its job as usual, getting a pretty nice bounce in there. Let's aim at another shell. Boom, easy shot. The enemy team only has 3 vehicles left, one of them being a 183. And we're already over 1,000 damage, so, or 3,000, sorry, imagine. Oh yeah, I only dealt 1,000 damage this entire game. But yeah, we're doing pretty good. One more shot here. Yeet, thank you. And maybe even a bit of a love tap. That should take off another, yeah, pretty decent chunk, 153. Now we just drive away. So this is a good game. We didn't do as much damage as the battle previously, but definitely showcased how the IS-7 just gets away with everything. You can imagine how, even if I wasn't that skilled at the game, I could have gotten away by playing like a complete monkey in this game. So not bad. We're going to come out with a victory, another 3,000 whatever damage plus game. We're going to use that speed. This is where the IS-7 feels really nice. Unlike the 60 TP or IS-4, you can reach pretty high speeds, upwards of 48, 50 kilometers per hour. So I'm able to catch these guys off guard, and, well, yeah, I'm just going to HE this guy. HE obviously right in the engine deck will finish him off. And all that's left is the enemy M48 Patton in mid. Hopefully we can reload. Well, that doesn't really make a difference at this point, does it? So there you go. That is the IS-7. Not every game's going to be like this, and don't take my words for stone. It doesn't mean that because this is the easiest tank in Tier 10 and the best performing Tier 10, that you can YOLO and you'll win. You still need to have any sort of brain cell in any tank to do well. But the IS-7 seems that you can have just a little bit less skill and do just a little bit more. So hopefully all of you enjoyed today's video. We did pretty good. I mean, we averaged, what, 4,000-ish damage with both of these battles combined, so not too bad at all. As I said, though, hopefully you enjoyed today's video, and I'll be seeing you in the next one. Bye-bye!